Hi class, I'm going to be going through the solutions to your test from last Friday. Let's start with question number 1. So the question reads, a company wants to purchase two types of light bulbs, CFL and LED. The cost of each CFL bulb is $2 and the cost of each LED bulb is $20. The company must purchase a total of 800 light bulbs, must spend at most $5,000 on the light bulbs, and wants to purchase as many LED bulbs as possible. Let L represent LED light bulbs, and C represent CFL light bulbs. Which of the following systems models the situation described? So I'm just going to go through and highlight all the important math information. CFL is 2, and LED is 20. They need to purchase a total of 800 bulbs and spend at most $5,000. So, a total of 800 bulbs. The number of LED bulbs is L, and the number of CFL bulbs is C. If you add those together, L plus C, that's the total number of bulbs you're going to have, which is 800. So we should have L plus C or C plus L equals 800 somewhere in here. And that eliminates, as an option, B. Alright, and then the cost has to be... Oh, that also eliminates A because it doesn't say equals, it has a less than or equal to. So the cost has to be 5,000. And what did it say? The cost of a CFL is $2, so that means 2 goes with the C. And then the cost of an LED was 20. So that means 20 goes with LED, or L. So then that's how you get your answer right here. 2 for the C and 20 for the L. Question 2, a system of linear equations is shown. There it is. Which one has the same solution? So we're going to try to figure out what the difference is between the original and the new system and see if that makes an equivalent system. So the first one, the top equation is the same, and then it looks like 6 is -3 times 2, -3 is 1 times -3, and they're saying it's multiplying k by -3. So this one looks good so far. Let's check the other ones to make sure. B, 3x plus 2y equals j, that's the same. -4x is 2 times -2. And then we've got 2 times 1 to get 2y, but then it says it's multiplying by -2, when in fact it's multiplying by a +2, so that doesn't work. The next one, it's 9x plus 6y equals j. They multiplied the left side by 3 to get to 9x plus 6y, but they didn't multiply the j by 3, so this won't work. And on the bottom one, 4.5y plus 3y equals j. I don't even know what that is. If it looks too bad to be true, then it is. The answer is A. 3, given the graph, solve the system of equations. A graph shows where the systems cross each other, and that's the solution. So your solution's right here. You get 4, and then between 2 and 4 is 3. So our solution is 4, 3. And we're done. Question 4, solve the system using substitution. So what I'm going to do is I have to solve one of the equations for one of the variables, and as I look at it, the second one is going to be pretty easy to solve for y, because it's already got a y without a number in front of it, so I'll just subtract 2x on both sides. That'll cancel this 2x, and we'll get -5 minus 2x here. And then I'm going to go through with the substitution. So I underlined what y equals in red, and then I'm just going to plug that in to every y in the other equations. We have 4x minus 9y, but we know that y is equal to -5 minus 2x, so we can just write -5 minus 2x instead, and that all equals 1. I distribute the -9 into everything. -9 times -5 is +45. -9 times -2x is +18x. And then here on the next one, I did 2 steps in one. I'm combining like terms in the underlined in green. 4x and 18x is 22x, and then I subtracted 45 on both sides. This cancels, and this becomes -44. And I just have to divide by 22, which will cancel this to get x equals -2. I underline that in blue because we're going to plug that in to figure out what y equals. So we're going to use this equation right here. Y equals -5 minus 2x, but instead of x, we can write it as -2. -2 times -2 is +4. -5 plus 4 is -1. So we get y equals -1. So then we get our ordered pair, our xy, as -2, -1. Amway Center sells tickets for a concert. Tickets for lower level seats sell for $35. Tickets for upper level seats sell for $25. Theater sells 350 tickets for $10,250. How many of each type were sold? So the number of lower level plus number of upper level tickets is equal to 350, which we have here. Then $35 times the number of lower level tickets plus $25 times the number of upper level tickets gives you the total cost of the tickets, which is $10,250. I'm going to solve this by elimination, multiplying L plus U equals 350 times -25. I chose 25 because it'll make the U's cancel out. This makes 10L, this makes 1,500, and then I'll divide by 10 to get L alone, for L equals 150. And then because L is 150 and I know there's 350 total tickets, I know U has to be equal to 200. 6. The functions f of x and g of x are graphed. To use the graph to solve the solutions to the equation f of x equals g of x. When you're solving f of x equals g of x, you're looking for the x value. So we're looking for the x values here. And the solution is just where they cross each other, which is going to be right here, obviously. If you go down, it's past 5 somewhere. So the only solution for this is 5.4. 5 is too small, 6.4 is too big, and all of these are way off.
Question 7. Two linear functions have been evaluated for integer x values from -3 to 3. Based on the table, which of the following could be the coordinates at the point where the graphs of the equations intersect? So, I'm just going to go ahead and go through and circle which one is bigger, f of x or g of x for each point. So here 4 is bigger than -5, 3 is bigger than -4, 2 is bigger than -3, 1 is bigger than -2, 0 is bigger than -1, and then we've got 0 over here is bigger, and then 1 is bigger than -2. So these are two lines. One of them starts off higher than the other, and then at some point becomes the lower line. So somewhere between those 2 points is where they have to cross. The x value there is between 1 and 2. So we're looking at this. 0 is not between 1 and 2. 0.5 is not between 1 and 2. 1 is not between 1 and 2. And 1.5 is between 1 and 2. So this is a possible intersection point. Following system of inequalities to answer the questions below. And there's the system. We want to choose the graph that matches the above system. So we've got y is less than or equal to 1/4 x plus 3. So we're going to try to find which one is 1/4 x plus 3. So this one has got a y-intercept at 3, but the slope is up 1 over 1. That's not 1/4. This is a y-intercept of 3. It looks like it goes up 1. It could be 1/4. This one, 3 up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. So B is definitely a slope of 1/4. And then D doesn't even have anything with a y-intercept of 3, so D is definitely out. And A is definitely out. Let's take a look at the second equation. Y is greater than or equal to -x plus 2. In C, we've got 2, but then it goes down 2 over 1. That's the slope of -2, not -1, so C is out. And we get our final answer of B. And then it wants to know which of the following are solutions. Let's just look for things that are inside this shaded region. 0, 0 is not. 2, 1 will be. 3, 3 is going to be in there. -1, 1 is not, and 0, 1 is not. Which of the following is the correct graph to the linear inequality y is greater than 3? So y is greater than 3, we just have to find all of the values where y is 3, which is just a horizontal line at y equals 3. So that'll look like this or this, which eliminates A. It eliminates D. Those would be x equals equations. Greater than without the line underneath for equal to means it has to be a dotted line, which means C is wrong, and greater is also above, so that's how you get B as your answer. 11, John wants to make a poster for his bedroom wall. He found it his favorite photo and decides to enlarge it at a local print shop. You can do 125%. 125% is 1.25. And to make each new copy, he uses each new copy to generate the next copy using the same copier settings. So which of the following represents the recursive formula? So you take the other one and you multiply it by 1.25. The previous one is an n plus 1, it's n minus 1. Adding 125 is not what you want. 0.25 makes it smaller. This is an exponent, which doesn't work. So then we get 1.25 a to the n plus 1 or a to the n minus 1. And like I said, if you want the last one, it's n minus 1. So it's 1.25 times whatever your last size was to get your new size.
Question 12, f of n equals 2 times f of n minus 1 plus 3. We have f of 0 equals negative 1, and we have to find f of 1, f of 2, and f of 3. So f of 1, we're just going to replace all of our n's with 1. So it equals 2 times f of 1 minus 1 plus 3, which is 2 times f of 0 plus 3. And we already know f of 0 is minus 1. You do the math to get that f of 1 equals 1. So at that point, we've eliminated c, and we've eliminated d. So then we can go on, f of 2 is equal to 2 times f of 1, which we already calculated was 1, plus 3. So 2 plus 3 equals 5, and we get B. Final answer. Question 14, the table shows values for a linear function, f of x. We want to know what the equation is for f of x. So first, I found the difference between negative 1 and 3, which is plus 4, and negative 8 and negative 5, which is plus 3. This is the rise. This is the run, so I'm finding my slope, which is rise over run, of 3/4. So once we have the slope of 3/4, we can plug in one of the points. I'm going to choose negative 1, negative 8 to y equals mx plus b. And we get negative 8 equals 3/4 times negative 1, using this point over here, plus b. We're going to solve for b by adding 3/4 to both sides. When you do that, you get b equals negative 29 over 4. So your equation becomes f of x equals 3/4, which is the slope, x plus negative 29 over 4, which is your b, or your y-intercept. And then moving on to the last question, question number 15, it says data has been collected in Florida regarding a worker's earnings to create the graph below. It says the amount earned in dollars, and then over here is the time worked in hours. It wants to know what the slope of the graph represents. So slope is the rise, the amount earned, over the run, the time worked. So it's going to be the amount earned per hour. So the number of hours of work it takes to earn 320, that's wrong. The amount of money earned per hour, that's what I just said. That's going to be our correct answer. Let's look at the other ones and see why they don't work real quick. The amount earned for 40 hours of work, that's just this point, 40 hours, and that's that point. Number of hours worked per dollar earned. That's, an okay answer, but it's the opposite of the slope. So if time worked was on the y-axis and amount earned was on the x-axis, then D would be the correct answer.